Hello, it's Tom from BlackToad Studio, and this is time for another Weekdays of Wargamer. This time we're going to be covering my guard a little bit, which I have been working on quite extensively this week. Basically, if you've been following our Instagram, you'll see that there's been a lot of posts of me, a lot of progress shots of these guys. Essentially, when I got these out of the box at the beginning of last week, I was pretty disappointed with the way they looked, because I think when I did them, I was really rushing through them to get them painted. And I don't even know why, because I had a lot of time to do these ones. But essentially there was no kind of shading on them, there was no little details picked out and stuff like that. I've done quite a bit of that now, and I've also rebased them by using some snow to fit this particular snow theme mat from Game Mat EU. I'll check them out if you need a mat. But yeah, so there's still a little way to go on some of the bits and pieces. I think the main bits I've got left to do are just some of the facial features, and also just a little bit of tidy up, which I've noticed while I was doing the kind of repaint shading parts. So yeah, let's go into a bit more detail here. So essentially this regiment here is attached to my Black Templar Crusade. Kind of like a rough kind of idea was to have them as a supply regiment for the Crusades neophytes, as they die quite frequently. As any of you will know, watching some of my Black Templar videos, a lot of my recruits die very quickly instead of the normal Marines. But yeah, so down here at the front we have some standard guardsmen. These are just guardsmen squads. I can't remember what they used to be in the old codex, but I think I had an idea of using veterans, I think. But obviously I'm going to use these just as standard guardsmen now. These four core squads here have basically all las guns and a grenade launcher in each, with a vox and a sergeant with a chainsaw. As you can see here, I've changed the look of the carapace, so I've darkened it down by using a null wash, which I think actually really added to it, and it just brought the kind of camo together with it. I just need to do some, as you'll probably see on this video, you'll see some of the faces need a little bit of attention, which I'm going to be doing hopefully during the rest of this week. Leading them over here, we have a Lord Commissar and a platoon, I think he's a platoon commander. Little work needs to be done on the commander there, because I think I hadn't quite decided what I was going to do with him until recently, and also I've got a couple of leads I need to do just to sort of round out the force. Over here on the left, we've got quite a big selection of basically special weapons, heavy weapons, or anything else that I want to be able to make veteran squads or special weapons squads out of. So there's not any particular order at the moment. And also, this is a Chimera I picked up off eBay a little while ago, which I got sorted out. Really liked how the snow came out on that. Really good on the tracks on the and on the bulldozer blade there. But yeah, so I might be getting another one of those at some point. I'm not sure. It was more just to sort of have a little transport for grabbing things if I wanted to. Along the back middle here, we've got 6 las cannons. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to run these, because I think previously I ran them in veteran squads, and I put one in each of the veteran squads, which actually gave them obviously a higher ballistic skill and spaced them out a bit. But obviously in the old rules you weren't able to multi-target things. So now that's actually quite good, but also I don't really want to put them in the veteran squads, because I think they're better as a group at the moment. Yeah, so and again, just brought down that white, and also gave the weapons a good non-oil coating as well, to make them look a bit darker. And again, a bit of snow on the bases. I didn't go overboard with the snow, because I wanted to blend in other mats possibly as well, but also this, just because it looks quite nice patchy anyway. And at the back here, we've got a Manticore and 2 Wyverns. I'm hoping to expand the Wyverns to 3, because I really like them, and I think fitting with how I want to play this regiment, I'm going for kind of artillery over just raw tank power. I do have some tanks I'll show you in a minute, obviously, but yes, we've got 1 Manticore. These came out much nicer than after just doing some washing even on the side whites here, made it just look kind of flat before. So I'm quite happy with how they've kind of developed. Likewise with these, I think just having the red darkened down has helped a lot. Over here on the right, we've got the 3 tanks. I don't think I'm going to get many more Russers for this army. I think I'm going to keep it at this. And I'm going to stick with getting artillery pieces, because that's kind of my idea for this regiment, is to probably use the Katakan, or Katakan, I can't remember how you say it, regiment's doctrine. So we've got +1 strength for the troops to represent they're quite strong, obviously for being recruited into the Templars, and also I would like to have basically the artillery pieces having that extra D6 to re-roll for choosing the high number, basically, which would be quite nice. So essentially my next plan for vehicle wise is probably going to be something like a Medusa or 2, or maybe the gun carriages, possibly from full drill, depending on how much of my finances can take the stress. We shall see. And then finally, we have a little air support up here. And again, it's equipped with all the multiple rocket pods for multiple shots and all that kind of stuff, so it fits what I'm trying to do. So lots of artillery or big explosion kind of stuff. Obviously, these things, the tanks down here were the only exceptions to that, because obviously I'm using exterminator patterns. So they've got the auto cannons, all the heavy bolters, except for the front one here, who's got the eradicator, which is going to be my tank commander if I use him as one. But yeah, and also got the heavy bolters in the side wings there. I haven't got the doors open, but they do open. So yeah, and essentially I think when I was working at the points for this, it came out to about 1,500 points. I was absolutely gobsmacked at, because I thought beforehand it was more like near 1,850 I'd bought. So something's gone on there with the points. But at the end of the day, I don't mind getting a few more bits for this. I'm trying to round it out to about 2,000 points, and I don't know if I'll take it much beyond that. Yeah, I'm thinking at the moment I'm quite happy where it is, because it's nice to add on to other forces that I've got for my Black Templars. Along with the Knight project I've got going on, I think I'm going to have quite a rounded Crusade force, which should be quite good fun to play with, especially in bigger games. So I'll be back in a second with a couple of extra bits I'm going to do for these guys. Okay, so yes, down here are my 2 other little side projects I've got going on for this particular army. Basically I've got a Storm Sword and a Storm Lord, both picked for being close range siege based kind of tanks, which is what I was trying to run them as. They've even got heavy flame responses, which I don't think I've ever fired an anger in a game yet, because they haven't ever got that close, either blowing up or just being too far away from the enemy. But I'm hoping now, and I haven't really used them in 8th, that they might get a chance to sort of do things out. And basically, as you can see here, they're using my old colour scheme. So I think I'm going to be jazzing it up with a bit of red and just bringing it up to date a little bit, because I don't think there's any washing on here either. This is back before I did it, sort of kind of used it extensively to sort of shade models, which was interesting. So it's quite nice to see the progression from where I was to where I'm painting now, and just trying to work my way through it. But yeah, there's quite a bit of work to do on these, but to be honest, I don't mind the base paint job on them, so I think I'm just going to add to it rather than completely overdo it. So it's quite nice to hark back to how I used to do things as well, so I don't want to completely take away that. I was actually quite happy with my Storm Sword here when it first sort of got done, and then the Storm Lord was a second buy, which I didn't. I think there was a paint change halfway through when I was doing this, so that's why this looks slightly different in certain areas. So I think I'll be redoing. I think I possibly might do the panels in red, just to sort of make it look a little bit different, but we shall see. So anyway, that's kind of where my guard stuff's up at the moment. Hope you've been enjoying these regular updates, and this is Tom from BlackToad Studios, and we'll see you soon.